professionals. Hey, what's up to Xbox Nation? Thank you guys for taking time out to join us today. I'm very excited. We got the full cast with us again. Blackie is back from last week. I think he was doing his ATV or something. That's what he messaged me. He's like, man, I totally forgot. And I was like, it's all good, man. But also, hopefully, you guys all know the other ones too. We got Blackie, we got Blaze of Phoenix, we got Iron Wolf, and we got the one and only Mooch. He's got his heads in the clouds, but he's here with us today. He's like, dude, I'll do the podcast, but I need only green M&Ms, and we got to get out because I got to watch the Mets win. So those were kind of the yeah, that was the criteria for that. And you guys, so we're not gonna do like a long 2-hour one or anything like that, but there is actually quite a bit to talk about. I'm super excited. Halo is coming up, but obviously I got to talk a little bit about the MPDs, right? Like, honestly, at this point, like if you guys watched my MPD video, I'm just flabbergasted. I'm a little bit annoyed at the American public. I don't understand it. Look, the Xbox One's doing fine. Like, what, it did over 300,000. That's great. It's up year over year. I'm excited about that. I think it's doing great. How in the hell is the PS4 selling more? What does it offer? Like, I don't know what it's doing. Like, at this point, I'm scratching my balls in my head, and I'm like, I have no idea. It's like you're just flabbergasted. Have you ever get to that point where you just are, you're just like, holy crap, what does Microsoft have to do? They're already doing, like, everything they can. You know what I mean? And it's like, but it just does not. It seems like Sony is like one step ahead of them. Like Microsoft.
Well, crap, man. I feel like this.
Price.
Well, crap, it's like this. I think a lot of people, me, you, Mooch, Iron Wolf, Blaze, we're close to 30, over 30 years old, so we're a minority. You have a lot of people who didn't start gaming until like 2000, and those are the people who are buying into all this shit. This is why the microtransactions are crazy, because there's a lot of people who are in the gaming scene. They don't understand what gaming used to be and where it is now. Like, they have no idea of what's going on. They just understand what the social media's taught them, what their friends taught them, all this stuff, man. There's no user experience to be had.
It's more of a fad. Like, it's just a passing fad. But you have to give Sony credit. They did win. They pull out the win. There's no excuses. But I don't understand what Sony fans care about this. It's not making the experience any better. I would understand if, like, if Sony's selling all these consoles, they would take that money back, put it into PSN, take that money back, maybe get 10 AAA exclusives, bring back some classic games. But they're not really doing nothing. Sony is winning, not the Sony community. Sony is winning. They're the ones that's winning.
Blazing Phoenix, I want to give you a round of applause for that. Because that is a brilliant fucking statement. Sony is winning. PS4 gamers aren't winning. That's exactly right. That's beautiful. I gotta say, like, a lot of people say you're stupid or or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a lot of trolls. That is a fucking brilliant statement.
Yep, they're not winning anything.
No,
well, it's like people keep talking about MPDs crap, and I think this is a really interesting thing to kind of hit on. Sales, right? This week I'm looking forward to Halo. That's a huge game for the Xbox. It was on the original Xbox. It shows just how well Microsoft has taken care of that franchise. Nintendo, the same thing. If they launched a Mario game this week, a lot of people would be excited for that game. Mario has been around since the original PlayStation. I think about not the original PlayStation, but the original Nintendo. I think about PlayStation and being around as long as they have, they still, there's nothing going to launch anytime soon that's been around since the original PlayStation. And it just shows you how careless they are with their franchises. I think of Gran Turismo, and Fran talked about it earlier, and with that one exception, Forza beat the shit out of it. So you talk about, they've been in the game all this time, and there's not one franchise that's stuck around since the PlayStation 1 that people really care about or they're excited for today. You know what I'm saying? Even the Sony fans, they're not buying Gran Turismo. Get the fuck out of here, man.
That's true.
Yeah, let me just put it like this, right? When they announced the NPDs, I had my Twitter, completely spammed with a lot of these ponies, these anime weirdos and shit. And no, seriously, they're going ha 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 ha, they're laughing and shit. And I'll tell you one thing: laughing is a defense. You know what I mean? It's a human defense mechanism because of their insecurities, and it makes themselves feel better because they have no argument. They have no fucking games. And the Xbox One is selling better than the 360 in the same point of time. And the way Sony are marketing this thing is, it's deceptive in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It really is.
Yeah, like I was saying, like Sony's not doing anything. Like they're just winning off of the raid. They off the wave. Microsoft was fucking up, because of the DRM. Yeah. Sony have not put any effort forward. They're not getting any new dashboards. They don't have any elite controllers. They have no exclusives coming out. Now they keep talking about this Paris game show was coming out today, Halo coming out. Who cares? They're not going to show anything but indie games. How many times did Yoshida had to say that they're not making AAA games for y'all to understand?
Yeah, they keep thinking that they're going to get Crash and Parappa the Rapper on the 27th, and, that's going to be announced. I'm telling you, you won't see shit on the 27th. I can guarantee you that right now.
Well, yeah, there's a subject that we're not really talking about here, guys, and the subject that I want to bring up is how NPD is becoming irrelevant as month to month goes by. And allow me to explain, because everyone's like, oh, of course it's irrelevant when Xbox loses. No, here's the thing. When the beginning of this generation started, there was the whole, I don't want DRM. I don't want to buy anything digital. What do you mean everything's online? Get away from me. I want to sell. I want to hold that copy of my disc. I got to sit on it. I want to feel it. I want to look at myself on the back of that CD and see my reflection. I shave in it. Listen, all that was going on in 2013. That was what everybody said. Well, now a lot's changed, okay, in the past 2 years plus. What we're looking at here is people are buying more and more digital copies of games. Now, does that change the actual hardware sales? No. I do still think that you can use NPD for hardware sales. So when we're talking about Sony won this past month as far as selling consoles, fine. But the next list that everybody keeps discussing and talking about and arguing about are the software sales. And the software sales on NPD are only physical copies. And every single person, you can't say this is not a good judge. I understand I'm not talking to the 20 million people out there, but I'm talking to a lot of people, and I would say 80%, 85% of the people I know on Xbox are buying their games digitally.
I'm the only physical Forza.
You are. You're literally the only one. And crap, you got a twofold. I mean, yours is you're a collector, which is great. That's fantastic. But you also have internet issues, and
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, it does impact your decision slightly. So that's fine though. That's all right. I said 85%. There's a lot of people. Like I said, there's good 15 out of 100 people I know that are still buying physical. But the NPD for software sales are they're just irrelevant. If you're only going to tell, look, if you're a detective, you show up to a crime scene, and you're like, well, there's a dead body here, and they're like, yep, listen, that body's been sitting here since 6 o'clock. We got a stab wound in the back and this and that, and you're like, well, what about the blood on the door? And the guy's like, oh, don't worry about that shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait. No, I got to know everything here, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is, if you're going to go ahead and tell me, Sony fans are waving their towels, they're like, look, we won Destiny sales and NBA 2K16, we sold the most shit, and they're waving their fucking terrible towels in the air, and I'm like, well, wait, what about digital sales? They're like, well, I didn't count that. Well, what do you mean you didn't count that? So basically, I'm sorry, I hate to say it. Everyone's like, oh, no, you're just saying it because you lost. I'm not saying it because I lost. I'm going to give Sony the win in the hardware because you can't digitally buy a Sony PS3 or a 4 or an Xbox One. But I'm sorry, you cannot count software sales at all anymore.
Well, hey Mooch, here's what I was saying, because somebody today was tweeting about this stuff, right? Like trying to poke fun at the Xbox or whatever. And I was like, well, listen, NPD is a North America only, right?
Yeah.
And NPD is old school, right? It was good for the last gen when people weren't buying digital day one. Xbox 360 rarely had games digitally day one. You know what I mean? So Xbox One does. So basically you have North American market, which was over 200K physical, not counting the digital, which could have easily been another 200K, not counting that it's still in the top 5 in the UK right now, not counting the bundles, because NPD doesn't count bundles, NPD doesn't count digital, so it's really an archaic kind of way of doing that, you know what I mean? It doesn't really make a lot of sense, you know what I mean? And for people to try to tout that or whatever, or try to say, well, look, Until Dawn cracked it. Well, look, Until Dawn came out in the summer. You know, nothing else was out. We have a bunch of, look at the games in the top 10. Most of them are not only multi-platform, but they're multi-console, multi-generation. If you look at Metal Gear, that's on 4 platforms or 5 platforms with PC. Same thing with NBA 2K and Madden. Those are all on last-gen stuff as well. So and Minecraft, again, that's just, you know, it's Minecraft is always in there, and the new Destiny thing. Well, multiplats are always going to sell better, especially when they're on 4 consoles.
I was arguing with somebody on Twitter today, and the guy's going back and forth with me about Halo, and then he's like, well, you know what? Screw that about Halo. He's like, guess what? He's like, I'll be enjoying my Battlefront, and you'll be enjoying Battlefront on 720p. I go, are you actually using multiplats as a weapon? I'm like, that's what you just switched from Halo 5 argument with me to multi-plat. I'm like, buddy, I can play that if I want. I'm like, first of all, I said I don't want to play that. And at the end of the conversation, I was like, I'm going to enjoy Halo 5 the rest of 2015 into 2016. Enjoy your 11 maps. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. Like, it's not even an argument. How do you argue with somebody on the same thing I can go purchase? Are you telling me you're going to wear 2 monocles in your eyes and you're going to pick up the extra P's?
You know, like I said, Sony fans are not gamers anymore. Now they're like PC fans. They're like.
Let me tell you, I'm going to add to what Crap was saying. You know, MPDs is only a US thing. In the UK itself, Forza's been selling like crazy. Rare Replay, Gears of War Ultimate, they were #1. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gears of War was #1 above Until Dawn. And, you know, I don't know why people are trying to say nobody bought Forza, nobody supporting it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in the top 10 and all that kind of shit. Forza's a sort of game, it sells all year round.
It has legs.
It picks up. Legs. Yeah, it picks up all year.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I've been on the Xbox for, you know, since it launched. And, I mean, you guys just said it. Like, every person I know buys digital. So, like, how can you even go to try to count these numbers? I think that these Sony fans are fucking reaching. I mean, I've seen some people reach, but in the last week, especially Halo being close, and I mean, these motherfuckers are like, whatever Phil Spencer did, and the MPDs, it's like, you can keep trying, but that fucking Halo train is about to run over your bitch ass. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Yeah. It's like, if you're a gamer, if you really care about what you're doing, and I would say most of us do and should, because it's you invest a lot of money and especially time into this. You should expect more, and to sit there and list off all these bullshit ass games, and you got Halo, and you know they're gonna try to take away from that by saying, oh well, Forza didn't sell as much. Look at everything is just bad, but they turn a blind eye to fucking digital sales. Like, to me, this generation, these people have reached like motherfucking Stretch Armstrong. You feel me? Like, these motherfuckers.
Yeah, but no company even declared digital numbers anyway, Lebowski. You know, Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, because I think it's something to do with the taxes. You know, it gives them an opportunity to avoid a lot of those taxes. So they never declare official numbers like that.
They need to reevaluate it, how they a correct way if they're that interested in doing numbers. You know, Microsoft doesn't divulge a lot of numbers anyway for whatever reason. You know, I guess it's a Phil Spencer thing. But I had people trying to troll me saying Halo wasn't going to sell well. It's only going to sell 3 million. I was like, you do realize Master Chief Collections is sitting at like 6 million right now, right? So, I mean, and not only that, but you look at Halo 3 on the 360, came out in the same situation. 2 years into the life cycle, 50% less sales than the Xbox One has right now, and still managed to sell, what is that, like 12 million, 13 million, or whatever the hell it's at. So Halo is a phenomenon that other franchises, you know, Sony dudes don't have anything like that. Yeah, so they don't really know, you know what I mean? Yeah, they don't know what it's like to have that.
A lot of us talk about this. We all know Halo. We've all played all 4 of them multiple times. We know that. There's a lot of people that work in my office. There's a lot of first-time Halo buyers about to purchase on Tuesday. Like, a lot of people came up today in my office, like, so like, you're definitely getting Halo, right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, me too. I just pre-ordered it. I digitally downloaded it.
You know how many people on Twitter I saw with that Halo
Everybody.
Yeah, so many people are buying that Halo console, and it's pretty safe to say, since they released it right now on the 20th, that they're going to win the MPDs.
Yeah, there's
October.
One guy, that same person I was arguing with whether NPDs were relevant or not. The one thing I said was, October, November, December is going to Microsoft. I don't care that Sony came down to 350. 350 is nice for the undecided, but Microsoft is going to do two things. We know Microsoft's going to have a better deal come out Black Friday forward. Okay,
we already saw the Dell. Yeah, $299.
Right.
Fallout 4 with Gears of War Ultimate. What the fuck better deal can you get? Yeah,
and 2 controllers.
Yeah, and a controller added. So
you got the Elite controller. The Elite controller sold out on Amazon.
Shout out to Red Dragon. I told him this on Twitter way back when, but he was thinking of contemplating. I said, just order it. He just said Amazon sold out of the Elite controller. He can't order it, so he's going to try Microsoft Store. But I ordered that shit day one, bro. This is going to be blasphemy. You guys are probably going to kick me off the show. I'm almost looking forward to that controller as much as Halo. I can't wait. For some reason, bro, that controller. I've always been some people collect sneakers. I like controllers, and to me personally, that shit it's amazing, and it's got the right kind of weight and grip to it. That's the kind of shit I've been waiting for. I like that density. And when is that? Now, is that releasing technically? We should all be getting those the day before Halo, or day of? 26th or 27th?
27th. Same day.
Same day. Okay, great. That's just even better.
Yeah, but that shows you Microsoft is dedicated to gaming. You see, they bought Havoc. They got that deal with Scuff controllers now, and you see this. They're pushing hardcore gaming. That's why I said I couldn't go play Call of Duty on PS4 after playing it on Xbox. Look at that Elite controller. Sony is not making any controllers like that, first party.
Yeah. By buying a PS4 for Call of Duty, you're downgrading your experience. That's what you're doing. You are playing the inferior version. Those are just facts. And let me just put it out. I want to put this out like this, yeah? Let's just say you want to go to the Bahamas for a week with your wife or your girlfriend, right? And you want to buy first-class tickets for your flights. But once you pay the money and hop on that plane, you'd expect to be in a first-class section with leather seats, with a 4K TV where you could put your foot up and have a champagne on the side. But instead of getting all that, it looks like you're on the back of the seat of a bus with maggots everywhere. And yes, those are the Sony fans crawling everywhere. And, you'll be pissed. Because that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You're paying first-class money for third-class service. And that's what the PS4 is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be honest, man, Mario Maker is much better than anything that's been on PS4 all year. So, I swear it is. If you're an old school fan, that's way better than anything that's been on PS4 all year round. I'm not gonna. Same thing with Splatoon, man.
Since I bought the Xbox One, I felt like, it was $100 more expensive, but you are paying first class money for first class service.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I've been saying it for a long time, man. And these people are getting restless, and you can tell because they're bringing up these sales, and anything Phil Spencer says, they're latching onto that shit like a baby does a titty with milk in it. I'm telling you guys, dude, Halo is going to be that turning point. I said, dude, let them have their big game. Usually systems don't start getting that momentum until that big AAA exclusive, and Halo,
like Halo 3 did for the 360, that came out in 2007, so 2 years in. Yeah,
so I'm saying with Halo 5, people are trying to make all these predictions, and they're trying to claim victor for this generation, and we still haven't had our main Halo game, and we're still waiting for the main Gears of War game.
Yeah,
that's just fucking that's crazy. I'm like, how could you sit there and think that everything is just going to keep going in Sony's favor? I've said this before, and I really believe this. I think that once Halo drops the Elite controller, the new UI, things are going to turn around. Yeah. There is no new format that Sony has, like Blu-ray or DVD. People are going to start seeing through the bullshit. They're going to fucking see Halo. They're going to see what the Xbox has to offer. They're going to realize they've been fucking fooled. Because right now, only thing I'm hearing is sales, this game nobody's heard of, and all their reasons have no substance. And that's gonna crumble. That's gonna crumble.
All they have to argue with us is multiplats, and I don't understand. Yeah. That makes no sense. How do you argue a multiplat with somebody that's the same game? We can play that game. There's nothing you have, and people are like, one guy was arguing with me on Twitter. He's like, "You guys got to be careful. You Xbox fans are turning into Nintendo fans. You're only falling in love with your first-party games. You're not paying attention to the other." I said, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" I said, "Every single game that comes out for Sony, we have as well. We have every goddamn game, and then we have another half dozen to 8 games that are coming out in the next like 12 months that are only ours. So that means I get all of yours and 8 more." Like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't I want that? I don't understand why the hell. And the guy, he's like, "Well, just be careful because Nintendo fans were just happy with their first-party games and they neglected." I'm like, Phil Spencer's not neglecting shit. He's got 5 bundles coming out with half of them are all third-party games.
That was some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard if someone said that they should smack themselves because, first of all,
buddy, this is the crap we deal with. Crap.
Yeah, dude, Jesus, dude. Well, you deal with some fucking weirdos, man. Because, let's be honest here. Microsoft has a powerful console that can play all the third-party stuff, so they're going to get third-party games. It would make sense to do that. It's still a very popular console. It's a console that's sold very well. It's not doing as well as the PS. That's the main difference. You know, the Wii U, that was competing with last gen stuff. It was not as powerful to compete with this gen stuff. And Nintendo fans, you know, tend to be lower skewing age. You know what I mean? So that's why they don't buy that stuff. It has nothing really to do. That's like Nintendo's own kind of fault and situation. Microsoft is the innovators of online and party chat and achievements. They're the ones that are pushing that stuff and the hardcore stuff. Hardcore gamers like hardcore games, and they like that hardcore Xbox controller that just came out. You know, Xbox Live. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on for the Xbox One that makes it a major player in the console wars. And Sony, they're just coasting by. You know, I will admit this. Yeah, they have kind of planned well with their marketing and with their price drops and things like that because, you know, what world would you price drop unless you were that hard up to stay on top? What world would you price drop when you've already been #1 every single month? They were just afraid to get embarrassed this holiday, and I can see why. But guess what? Their 350 console isn't going to beat a $299 or a $279 console. Wait till we see those Walmart deals. Last year we saw them for they're probably going to be $279 or less for multiple games. You know what I mean? They're going to sell probably 1 million consoles on Black Friday, and I think that it's going to be really, really, you know, it's going to upset a lot of fanboys. Let me ask you this though: do you think Halo is going to propel the Xbox One to win the October NPD? Because they are getting it out early, which I didn't account for. Remember, we were all like, well, they'll only have 5 days. Also, if you think about it, the NPD actually goes into November, so the first few days of November are counted towards the October NPDs. So you're going to have almost 2 full weeks of Halo being out there, and that Halo console, Halo 5, a lot of people are getting it early. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that it stands a chance at winning October NPD?
I think it's a genius move, to be honest with you. I think it's genius that they released it yesterday, I believe. You know, the collector's edition and the console. That way, all these Halo 5 SKUs can fly off the shelves right now and into everybody's homes in preparation for the 27th. And obviously, after the 27th, more people are going to go out and buy it for the next 3-4 days. So I can easily see Microsoft winning, you know, October and even November, to be honest, and maybe even December, in fact. So.
I agree with that too because you know a lot of people's dying for Halo 5. You know, we want to know what's going on with the story. All these trailers are amazing. Like they're getting you the Hunter Troop was really cool. It's making you excited for the story. And you know, since the Master Chief Collection sold 6 million, imagine what Halo gonna do. That's a brand new game, and as the console looks amazing, it's a lot of hype around the game. You know, Halo is like our Super Bowl for the Xbox fans. So you know they get around that time of year, get them excited. So a lot of guys gonna drop money for the game. And don't forget, in November, they probably going to win November, too, if it's the Call of Duty and Tomb Raider. So they should win November as well.
Yeah, I think they've won every month since launch, man. These ass pirates running around acting a fool, man. And
NPD is for Microsoft and Sony. That's not for us.
They're talking crazy stuff, man. They're talking about sales. They're talking about everything but video games.
Yeah, they're accountants.
Yeah, the NPD may have been good for Sony last month. That's what I'm saying. Like, I believe they're so excited about it because I think they know in their heart of hearts it can continue. I just don't see it happening because it's like that old saying: you can fool some people sometimes, just not all the time. And I think we're reaching that point where people are gonna like start looking at and start noticing the bullshit. Like you'd have to. So like, Halo is definitely it's gonna boost everything. I've been saying this for almost a year. You have fucking the Tomb Raider, Halo, Gears of War, Forza. By the time Halo, like the next big Halo drops, and you have the Master Chief Collection and the backlog of all the games. By the time Halo gets here, it's just gonna be really hard to be a smart consumer with a fucking brain in their head and to choose a PlayStation 4 over that. I just don't. I don't see it happening.
Some of them gotta be smart enough to actually get an Xbox One, even though they won't admit it. I mean, honestly, like most of us have a PS4 now, or will, like, what are you gonna say? Oh man, are we gonna sit there and go, even if you don't really like Uncharted, and say it's garbage or whatever? I mean, it's hard to really deny that it's a decent franchise. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of the PlayStation fans go out of their way. They're, oh, Halo's dead. Halo's bad. It's stupid. You know what I mean? That's like the most idiotic comment you can make, and that's their argument, is Halo stupid or it's milked or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the 5th Master Chief Halo game. We're already on the 5th Nathan Drake Uncharted game, if you count the Vita one. You know what I'm saying? In much less time. So the fact that people always talk about Xbox games as being milked, but not PlayStation
what about
games.
Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, I mean, there's like 10 or 12 of those, right? I mean, it's ridiculous how many there were. I couldn't even tell you which ones there were last gen because there were so many of them.
Man, all the milking going on Uncharted is Drake milking Sully's prostate.
Well, did you guys hear this, right? Like real quick, like this guy, he was doing a voice work named Alan Tudyk, right? He was in Firefly. He's done some stuff for Halo ODST. He was a voice in that. He was a voice on that. And then he said that when they fired all the people he was working for at Naughty Dog, that a loophole in his contract let him quit. And he says that he made a lot of friends, but none at Naughty Dog, only the ones that quit or were fired. Right? So I mean, I think that says it all, that studio was ready to implode. There's a lot of turmoil there, and the fanboys and the media covered it. I was the one covering it and say, hey, more Naughty Dog people left. Hey, the head writer left. The director of Uncharted 4 left. All this, I mean, it's trouble in paradise, and people act like it's not. You know what I mean? This is going to be vastly different. Yeah, this is going to be a vastly different game. You have different people running it. You lost actors. You lost directors. You lost everything. You know what I mean?
They kept that sack of shit, Neil Druckmann.
Yeah, that guy is. You know what? I'd like to fucking donkey punch that asshole. You know what I mean?
Such an arrogant prick. Listen, everything that's happened is going to backfire on him because he's so arrogant. All those people left because of him. That's the reason. Whether he let them go or he forced them out or they just wanted to leave on their own accord, that tells you something. When leadership is that bad that you lose all those people, and that's why this game has been postponed twice. And that's why it's going to be a mediocre game at best. And people are like, how can you say that? How can you say that? I'll tell you how I can say that. Everybody's fucking gone. They're gone. They lost their entire crew. Like, that just tells you, like, listen, when you have a classroom full of kids and every fucking kid gets a 60, it's not the kids that are idiots, it's the teacher. So listen, I got news for you. This guy, everyone fucking leaves on their own accord or gets forced out, but Neil Druckmann's a genius? Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, let me just add to what Mooch was just saying. Like, you've seen so many people on our Twitter, on YouTube, doing unboxing videos on the collector's edition of Halo. Doing their little selfies here and there. That's pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I could guarantee you one thing: you're not gonna see that with Uncharted 4. It's not gonna happen. They don't support their own shit, and that's a fact.
They like multiplats better. They like the multiplayer.
What are they gonna do? They're gonna do an unboxing of Drake statue. You know what I'm saying? That shit's lame, yo. It really is.
It's lame, yo. Hey, I mean, let me ask you guys something, because we were talking about this earlier, and I was thinking about it when I did my MPD video, and I've said it before. Does having a console like an Xbox One, do you enjoy it less because it's sold less? You know what I mean? I mean, does anybody really think that way? Or if you have a PS4 and that's your preferred console, are you enjoying it more because it's sold more? I don't think anybody in their right fucking mind thinks that way. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to think that way or think you get more enjoyment out of that. I mean, do we like things as people because they're popular, and does that make them better? I mean, I'm not sure that that's how things work. I mean, you guys, what do you think?
It doesn't make me a better gamer, and I could tell you one thing. I'm going to say it on this show right now because I think I spoke to you behind the scenes about this. I'm going to sell this piece of shit. and I'm gonna buy the Halo. No, I'm gonna sell it, and I'm gonna buy the Halo 5 console. Probably tomorrow, or maybe Saturday. I'm gonna buy it.
Like I keep telling this story, like I was a hardcore PlayStation fan. I had PS1, PS2, and I wasn't going to get an Xbox OG until Halo, and then that would make me become an Xbox gamer. I have no love for this console. There's nothing to do on it. It's just I don't want to play indie games all day. I don't want to play multiplayer. I can play all that on my Xbox One. Give me experiences I can only get on the PS4. There's no experiences I can get on the PS4 except indie games. There's nothing unique about it. It's just like a powered-up PS3.
You know, anybody that's listening to this show that's hating, Blazing Phoenix is by far one of the most passionate gamers. And I met a lot of YouTubers over the years. He's very passionate. If you go back to his early videos, because Blaze, I've been following you for a long time. If you go back long enough, you'll see that he's been trying to ask Sony fans, you got to understand, I just want a good game to come on the system. And the reason, Blaze, if I understood you right, that you left that ecosystem and came over was you saw Sony give up. You saw them give up on, and they gave up on their fans. And that's what it is. There's nothing coming out. There's nothing on that console coming out until March 2016. And you know, people are like, well, that you guys had a little bit of a drop. I'm like, yeah, we had the drop, but we saw 7 games coming. We saw Crackdown. We knew Quantum Break. We knew Halo 5. We knew Gears. We knew Tomb Raider.
Bitched about it too. Like I've never heard a Sony dude bitch. I've never heard one go. We had Tearaway. You know what I mean? But you never hear us go. But we had Scream Ride or State of Decay.
Or Ori.
I mean, those are decent games, but those aren't the what we're really looking forward to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like they'll use whatever excuse they can, wherever they can, whenever they can, to kind of make that excuse. And I think that's the difference with Xbox people. We'll admit, hey, Microsoft dropped the ball here. Yeah, hey, Microsoft didn't give us the games we wanted. They're fixing that. Look at next year. We're going to get an exclusive damn near every month.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
I'm sure, you would agree, and everybody on this panel would agree that Microsoft are the only ones who are pushing new IPs. Like we got Quantum Break, Scalebound, Recall, and we got Sea of Thieves coming next year. And
I'm hearing great things about Sea of Thieves. I'm not like that's one that's going under the radar.
Yeah,
in case you guys don't know what it is, it's an MMO pirate game. Who hasn't ever wanted to play an MMO pirate game? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I get that they're.
That's cool, like blowing up people's ships.
Because you're gonna be Yeah, you're going to be able to play it against people on PC, on Windows 10 as well. So, I mean, that's cool. That's the thing that they're doing now. Great. But as long as I can play it on my console and enjoy it, I'm happy. And I like that they're letting Rare kind of do their thing again. And, that game to me looks amazing in the water, and it's probably going to use some cloud and things like that. Do you guys hear that Sony's looking into using Azure for cloud computing and stuff? I saw this. I swear to God. Right? The cloud... Hey, yeah, exactly. The cloud doesn't exist, but now Sony's looking into utilizing it. Yeah, he said it. Yeah, it's not good enough. It won't be good enough anytime soon. All that typical bullshit. But then again, Mark Cerny's Mark Cerny, the creator of Knack. So yeah, I mean, right? Like the guy made Knack. Can we really trust what he says when it comes
that's an impressive resume, by the way.
Yeah, that's an impressive resume.
Yeah, I mean, Knack. Come on, man. The guy looks like a fucking Fruit Loop. I'm not lying, man. He does. He looks queer as shit.
He looks like a weirdo.
He does. He looks like definitely looks like a goddamn weirdo. And
didn't this weirdo say that the cloud won't be utilized until probably
he did, and so did this developer named Jonathan. This developer Jonathan Blow, who made I think the game Braid or whatever. Yeah, I got an argument with him on Twitter back when the Xbox One was first announced because he was like, "Oh, they don't have 300,000 servers." Blah blah blah. It's just like he called me a liar.
This is how uningenuitive Sony is, okay? Sony hired people that bought products off of a shelf. You have Cerny saying, right? Cerny's like, you can't do anything with the cloud for ages to come, like you guys just said. This is the idiot that actually is responsible for the Sony PS4 build. Are you out of your mind? Like, you have people at Microsoft right now, we know they're working on Xbox 2 or Xbox Infinite, whatever they want to call the next one, but whatever they want to call it, they're already light years ahead. They planned the cloud for Xbox One. What do you think Xbox 2 is going to have? Something even more amazing, right?
I hope
like HoloLens, they're taking all this other shit into consideration. Sony's like, well, what's on the shelf? Like, they're just going to fucking, like, they're going to Napa Auto Parts. They're going to fucking Lake Electronics.
Hey, Mooch, they could have gave you money and said, hey, Mooch,
Honestly,
put it
they
together.
could have very easily gave me $400 million. I could have built that shit for about $2,000 and pocketed the rest. Shit is off the shelf.
Oh my god.
We're just like, I'm getting Mets season tickets. I'm getting Giants season
You see,
tickets.
my ass would have been right behind the pitchers, looking right at that goddamn center field, which the Mets are up 6-0. Let's go Mets. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, you guys are gonna go to the World Series.
Everything on the PlayStation, it seems generic as fuck, man. Like, we're talking about do the sales make their console better to them? And I'd say, like, I don't know, man. If you look at all the shitty games these people are listing, and how they fucking talk about, or they stay on other Xbox channels all the time, just being fucking weirdo stalkers. Hell no, sales ain't making you feel good at all, because these are the most upset fanboys I've ever seen, man.
Yeah. They're coming out of the woodwork, dude. They're pissed off at Halo, and right. If you're a Sony fan and you're seeing all this type, let's be honest, everyone's covering Halo. It's everywhere. People are tweeting their pictures. The hype is real. Like, this game is unmatched. Like, and that's got to be pissing them off. They have. When has the PS4 had this type of hype behind a game ever? In its existence, it hasn't.
Hey, but did the PS3 have a hype behind a game like that? Never. At PS3, I can think of.
They would always have Kevin Butler doing some video where they weren't showing any gameplay.
Yeah, like fucking last generation, Kevin Butler was like literally the biggest thing, the best thing to push PS3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was Kevin Butler. There wasn't no fucking game. I had the system. Killzone was promising, but then you would get the game and it would just be broke. Like, you're on your fucking cell phone talking to your buddy trying to figure out how you get in the lobby. Okay? And people wonder how I fucking play Xbox Live.
I never thought Killzone 2 and 3 would look that great. It was pretty dark, it was too misty, and you couldn't see shit, and the acting was pretty lackluster.
Dude, I remember people nutting themselves over Killzone 2. They're like, this is the Halo killer. And I play it, and I'm like, this game sucks balls. It's one of the worst games I've ever played. It's got cheesy voice acting. You couldn't follow the story. The characters aren't good. You look, everybody can get into playing as Chief or Marcus Phoenix or Dom. They all have their favorites. Like, I love Marcus Phoenix. I like his story. I like Coltrane. I think he's fucking badass. You know what I mean? Like, you can get next to those characters. I can't get next to those characters on Killzone. Name. One of them was Rico or something. I don't even fucking know.
Rico.
Yeah, like
I don't even know
that, I don't even
characters in Killzone. I don't even remember.
I remember Rico.
Yeah, like you know what, you're playing shit. You play those PS4 games, right? Like Infamous, Second Son. I play that. I don't even remember the names of the people in the game or anything. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so forgettable. Like, Sony puts out these games with absolutely, utterly forgettable stories, utterly forgettable characters. It's just absolutely ridiculous that people support this console and continue to pump money into Sony's pockets when Sony's done nothing but slapped you in the face and said, "Hey, thanks for the money, jackass." You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but we're still talking about Forza 5, Titanfall, Dead Rising 3, Rise. We're still talking about these games. Do you see the Sony fans talking about Knack, Killzone, Infamous? I don't hear it, man.
I keep saying, like, I always compare PS4 exclusives to one-night stands. You leave it in the morning, and I always say that they don't talk about these games after they come out. You know, the week leading up to the game, they keep talking, oh, look at Killzone, look at this game. Then the day after it comes out, nobody talks about it. Look about all the games. Uncharted, when it comes out, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to hype the game up. The day it come out, they're going to keep saying, oh, look at Xbox, look what we got, exposed. Then the next day, nobody going to talk about it anymore. They're going to move on to hate on Xbox games again.
They be getting burnt, man, by PlayStation. I was one of those consumers. I waited for these exclusive games, and by the time you get them, man, they're like buying the fucking games. I remember when Killzone 2 dropped on the PlayStation 3, motherfuckers were still playing Call of Duty. I was like, what are you doing? Like, this is, like, you know, the Halo, you know, competition. Like, why are people still playing Call of Duty? And it just baffled me, like, the lack of support for the games that they do have. But then they're gonna fucking jump in your comment section on YouTube and leave you a list of 50 games nobody's ever heard of and tell you that's why you're crazy. That's why I'm in your comment section for 3 days straight, haven't fucking left my chair to shit are pissed.
That's funny. Like Sony fans keep contradicting themselves. First they talk about power this. It's all about 1080p. It's all about power. Then when they show the game list, it's nothing but indie games and weird Japanese games like One Piece and stuff. They always contradict themselves. Then they said first it's about first-party games and it's exclusives. Now it's about third-party multiplayer. They just keep jumping back and forth. They like
make up your mind, yo. Just make up your mind. And I just want to add to what Blackie was saying about, PlayStation games don't have no midnight launch, and that's a fact. That's the truth.
That's true.
I tell you one thing. There's going to be a huge Halo 5 event worldwide. New York, London, Paris, Sydney, wherever around the world. I mean, everywhere, pretty much everywhere. And I've been invited by Microsoft, so shout out to Microsoft for giving me that invite to the Roundhouse location in London for this big event. And Microsoft are spending millions on this event. It's going to be a huge party. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be food. You know what I mean? You're going to be, meeting new people, bigger YouTubers out there. It's going to be huge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cool.
Sony don't do shit like this. I never hear Sony doing huge events where they spend thousands, if not millions,
for their fans.
These parties, for their fans.
Yeah. Like, when did you see Yoshida out in public at E3 taking autographs and having fun with his fans, like having little parties? Where's Sony's little parties and stuff? Remember Titanfall came out? You saw all of the executives was down there handing out consoles and stuff. Yeah. Where was Kazurai and Yoshida at? Why when Uncharted?
You never see Yoshida and Kazurai have drinks with their fans. You know what I'm saying? Like Phil, he chills out with the fans. He has drinks with them.
You just reminded me of something, right? I did a video about how the Xbox community was kind of being rough on Phil. I thought, right? So I was like, look, everybody's entitled to their opinions. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do my video on Phil. I think, he inherited a Titanic, basically, and turned it around. So props to that. We can't make the guy pretend to be who he's not. If he's not a throat cutter, he's not a throat cutter. So basically, and so I did that, right? And then guess who I get a fucking inbox from on Twitter? Phil Spencer. He's like, hey, thanks for the support, man. I really appreciate it. Right? I was like, holy shit. This is the president of Xbox.
Wow.
The whole president of Xbox, right? Like, I mean, to me that blows my mind. This guy has watched my videos. Aaron Greenberg follows me too, and he's like commented and stuff. You know what I mean? These people interact with us on a whole new level, and that blows my mind. And I even checked. I'm like, I want to make sure this ain't some fucking fake Phil Spencer. You click on it, and it's like, nope, that's Phil Spencer's thing. You know what I mean? That's him.
It's a verified account, right?
Yeah, it is.
Phil Spencer, if you're watching, come on the show. We already interviewed Seamus Black.
Oh my God, dude! You know what? I would love to do that. Can you imagine the haters?
Come on the show, Phil or Aaron.
What I'm gonna try and do is, see what I can do behind the scenes with a few of these developers and stuff. Obviously, I'm not gonna go around talking about it because you got the haters. They try to sabotage, what we got going. So I'm gonna stay quiet about some of these things. But yeah, we're gonna try to do more of these things, man, because they're pretty good.
Hey, the Seamus Blackley thing went fucking fantastic. Like, I thought that was like one of the funniest things. One of the things I always wanted to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, and he was so funny. Like, and he was even trolling us a bit with shit. You know what I mean? Like the whole he was like trolling us with games and stuff. Like, I just thought it was interesting. You know what I mean? So yeah, I thought it was an awesome kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I just feel as though, when people were going too harsh on Phil, look, I understand, Phil did, in a way, he could have reworded some of the things that he did say, but he didn't deserve, to have people saying, oh, they should fire him and shit like that. I think that was going too far, you know what I'm saying?
I think
he did a great job. He's turned the Xbox division around from the moment he took charge, and look what we got. We have new IPs coming. We have Scalebound, Quantum Break, you know what I mean? So the 2016 lineup that we got is probably the best in gaming history. That's a fact.
Yeah, man.
It's the most diverse lineup ever.
Man, I feel like people who are talking shit about Phil Spencer, especially it's like, just stop it, man. How do you, if any of these people trying to be critical of the president of Xbox right now stepped in his shoes, our fucking Xbox Live would be down the next day. You know what I mean? Like, this Crap said it best. He inherited a Titanic. Like, it was a disaster.
It was. It's a fucking mess.
To see where it's at right now and to see their direction, I don't see how anybody in their fucking right mind can be critical of the dude. He's sitting here saying what all fucking true great champions, companies, people do. And we're focusing on what we can control. It's like that other shit that's on the outside, you're going to go crazy if you try to control it. Don't sweat the small stuff as a book. That I swear to God, they hit on this. It's like the things that you can't control, you don't fucking bother yourself with it because you will literally go crazy trying to fucking control things that you can't. But if you take the little things and it's step by step and focus on what you can do best, eventually you're gonna fucking be a professional, a master. It doesn't matter what you focus on. As long as you fucking work on what you can do best. As soon as you start paying attention to other people, like on YouTube, like if Crap Gamer was looking at PewDiePie, say I'm gonna catch PewDiePie.
Yeah.
For Crap Gamer, like he may never catch him. You know, a lot of people will never catch this dude. It's like focus on what you do, Crap, because guess what? People are gonna find your channel and they're gonna leave you comments and they're gonna love you way more than they like PewDiePie. Yeah, that's just how it is. So you just have to understand what you do and understand the best methods to execute.
So man, like Jesus, dude.
Yeah,
like
dude,
seriously, man, I got the helmet and shit. I do. Like I seriously, whenever I actually check my thing, I like, man, let me get my helmet, my cup, because some people swing them low blows, man. They're like, you fat fuck, drink some bleach, do this, kill yourself, you're poor, you do this, blah blah blah. No, seriously, I swear, this is how it is, dude. It's like you gotta go in there and fucking just be ready to go, like start swinging, man. It's like a mosh pit in that motherfucking comment section.
Why are you talking about games? Like we're here to talk about games, not killing people and stuff. That's crazy.
I mean,
that's why Blaze he actually blocked his. I think he disabled the comment section of his videos because,
like I said, the Sony fans get their power from the comment section. If there's no comment section, they have no way to talk. They have no way of communicating. All they can do is thumb down. So like the internet is the only way Sony fans could feel like they're important. Because in real life, Sony fans are not important.
I'll tell you something though, right? Look, I like this is right. Like they think, like I remember when all that stuff broke, where I was using some footage from other people or whatever. Right now, oh, that's a huge deal, exposed, and everybody had like 10 videos about me, right? And like what they didn't understand was they thought if every time I put a video, they came and disliked it, that would like make me stop YouTube or make me do something, you know, quit or like disappoint me or piss me off. And what they don't understand is, and I even talk about this off air, Mooch, you know. Don't I love getting dislikes just as much as likes? Like, to me, those are just as important. I like dislikes. I like being polarizing, which means...
One of the things that I told Crap when I first sat down with him, he was talking about, you know, this and that, what was going on, and all the hate and stuff, and I said, it just reminds me a lot of, like, what do they call it? Their Private Parts, Howard Stern. And they're like, why the fuck is he doing so good? They're like, number one reason most people tune in is they can't wait to see what he's going to say next. He's like, well, what about all the people that hate him? Number one answer, they can't wait to see what he's going to say next. So, like, the whole point is, like, you want to be that person. You want to be that person that actually does antagonize, but bring up a good certain point. Myself, personally, what I like to do on YouTube and what I like to do on these podcasts is I hope that, and I'll tell you something, I said it a long time ago, and it's happened. I keep getting DMs, and I get tweets all the time. People say, Mooch, I'm really glad you brought that up. You actually changed my mind on something. I'm now buying an Xbox One. Some people have actually said I'm trading in that trash PS4 to get an Xbox One. Some people are like, I'm going to enjoy both. Because, to be honest with you, nothing's really going to change as far as October, November, December is always going to be Microsoft. And they're going to win 2016, October, November, December, too, because they have Gears and a great lineup coming next year. But in order to win January to September, you really need the media. The media needs to do a 180 and say, wow, like, when was the last time I know a lot of us don't listen to IGN or Kotaku, but you all see the headlines. When was the last time anybody saw a headline from a major gaming media site that was like, wow, the Xbox One really is something special. Look at all these games. There's nothing. There's never anything positive. So how can there be a casual gamer that doesn't really know all the stuff we know walk in on an April 12th, 2016 and just be like, well, what should I buy? They don't know all the stuff that we know, but all they know is every headline is PS4 has this, PS4 is great, PS4 is priced out, PS4 doesn't have a brick, PS4 loves this, PS4 is shaped like a polygon, PS4 is a parallelogram. It's just everything is great about, it's like, holy shit. Like if I'm some random asshole who just wants to get into gaming, I'm like, well, holy shit, I saw 75 articles about how great PlayStation is, and all I saw about Xbox was DRM and Phil Spencer's got a shitty-looking haircut. Well, I'm out. It's like all it is bad press, even no matter what. Like Phil comes out and he's like, I'm giving everybody free games. Or like, that dude looks like a homeless man. Boo! And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, there's nothing the man can do. He can't do anything, man. It's like, so in order for Xbox to actually get a turn at this generation. I implore everybody who has a YouTube channel, you have to attack the media. Do it in a certain way that proves a point, because until the media does a 180, only October, November, and December is when Xbox will win, because that's when Xbox drops the price and gives better games. They're giving games all year, but the media just talks such shit all year that the casual gamers only look at. Nobody reads articles anymore. Nobody. All people read are headlines or clickbait, right? You read the top thing, like Xbox One does shitty, tune in tomorrow. Nobody clicks it. Nobody reads the article. Like, I remember one time I got into an argument with a guy from Polygon, and he's like, did you even read the article? I'm like, did anybody read your fucking article? I'm like, we read your headline where you bashed Xbox. He goes, but I didn't bash it if you read the article. I'm like, read the headline out loud to me right now. I'm like, read it to me right now. And he's like, you know, it was like a year ago or something. It was something like Xbox One can't do blah blah blah. And it was like, dude, all you do is negative shit. He's like, I'm not negative. Read the article. I'm like, nobody reads shit. Nobody reads. When was the last time you called your friend or your girlfriend or your parent and you were like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. Let me just put this book down. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody's got a book in their hand. Who the fuck is reading? We read headlines. We read 2 sentences under the headline and we move on. And that's it.
It's the art of clickbait. I mean, I do it on YouTube. Everybody does it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what you do. But not talking about the console, changing the topic from the console war, let's talk games. Why is console war take precedent over talking about games?
I've been saying that shit for a long time, man. It's become about so much more than video games. It really has. And that's why I feel like that's why the PlayStation is doing as good as it is, because there's so much more about that system than fucking games, like sales, talking shit about the competition.
NPD is the best PlayStation game this week. NPD, bro.
They love sales. They turn into accountants.
That's what I mean. Yeah, man. Bitter. If you're gonna be bitter, because I tell people this, like, would you reverse time if you could and say, hey, I need that Wii. I need that Wii for last generation because of the non-HD graphics. Forgetting how big the TVs were at the time. If you remember, like, last generation, that's when the whole, like, 1080p, 720 flat screen movement started. So, like, that's a big reason why I never even looked at the Wii. Like, I was all into high-definition picture. And there's no way anybody in their right mind is going to sit here and try to convince me, yeah, if I could do it all again, last generation, I'd pick up that Wii. Because the sales are what really matter. That's what drive things. You're out of your fucking mind. And people take that and they take all these other fucking excuses and what Microsoft said, what Phil Spencer didn't say, what they thought they heard back in 2013, and they use that shit instead of just looking at it objectively as a gamer and saying, okay, what do I want? Because goddamn it, they're doing petitions for the same fucking games that we had. Like, they're bragging about multiplats, like Mooch was saying. Like, none of this shit makes sense to me. It makes me fucking just scratch my head like, Jesus.
Yeah, like the Sony fans, they want the Xbox One, but they don't want the Xbox One. They want all the features, they want all the games, they want the online, they want the controller. Did you hear, like, they said they wanted the Elite controller? They wanted Sony to make a first-party Elite controller. They had a petition for that. They wanted Killer Instinct. They wanted all our games. So, like, if the Xbox is so shitty, why they want so much of the consoles?
They hate our console, but want our games. Yeah, it makes no fucking sense. You know what I mean? It's like that's the typical Sony thought, though. Like they.
Yeah, make Sunset Overdrive come to the PS4. Remember those petitions? They even had one for the Master Chief Collection.
Man, nah, they
hate the console for whatever reason.
Zaire did a show today. He did a video. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Crap.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, man, I often wonder if they sit there and have to remind themselves, and like, why do they?
They don't even know.
Hate it again? Is it like they don't know? You know, and that's kind of ridiculous. Like, how can they not know why they hate something so much? You know what I mean? It's utterly ridiculous, and I think that it's fucking just shows how ignorant this stupid fanboy bullshit is. Like, to me, like, you'll notice me like less and less on social media and shit, and less in the comments. You know, I like doing the videos for my own purposes, my own entertainment. It's my own blog, if you will, my own opinions. Most of the time.
Yeah, you just cut off again, man.
Yeah, we lose crap. But what I was saying was Zaire did a video today.
Some news, and I like.
Crap, we lost you. Zaire's video.
Go ahead.
Zaire had people actually telling him, "I really would like to get the Xbox One for Quantum Break and for Tomb Raider, but unfortunately, I don't want to buy an Xbox One because I don't want the NPD to record that." And he was like, "What the fuck? What kind of generation are we in right now? I mean, that's how fucked up these Sony guys." And that's why it's very hard for Xbox people to just because all of us Xbox fans. Majority, I would say 90% of Xbox One owners probably have a PS4, and probably 30% of PS4 owners have an Xbox One because of they're just stubborn pricks. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but the Sony fans had they think it's a real war.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's all right with you, I just wanted to change the topic a little bit because there was this article on VG247, and I actually tagged you two, Mooch and Crap, on this article. This is a quote from Yu Suzuki. It's about Shenmue 3. Yeah. He said, he does not know if he can achieve 60 frames per second. It will be tricky. And basically, he said he's aiming for 30 frames for Shenmue 3. So this is an indie game, right?
Yeah.
And the PS4 is supposed to be 50% more powerful. Where's this power, man? That's my question to y'all. Where's this power?
Yeah. The hardware has limitations. The PS4, it's an open world game. Shenmue doesn't have a lot of actual gameplay. It's a lot of QTE and stuff. So it's weird that it wouldn't be 60 to me. I don't know.
Man, Shenmue. Man, I'm sick of hearing about this ass pirate fucking fantasy bullshit. They got lost.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is why they're aiming for 30 frames per second.
That's horrible,
I'm pretty sure if it was powerful, they could achieve 60 frames.
That's why I'm so fed up with it, man. Because nobody should even talk about this stupid game. It's a Kickstarter. It shouldn't even be in. They're lucky it runs in 15 frames a second.
Yeah,
the motherfuckers are buying it. You're paying twice for the same game. Some of these idiots, and you know who you are, you fucking asshole fanboys. You pay hundreds of dollars to these people. There's somebody out there, they probably Jabari. I'm sorry, one of them guys. They done sent their whole fucking paycheck for this shit, dude. I'm telling you, to me, that shit's ridiculous. 15 frames a second, 30 frames per second. I played Shenmue on the original Xbox, and come on, man, I played The Witcher 3 this year. Can we please not ever fucking bring up Shenmue again? Come on.
You know what? I agree.
Whatever was the nostalgia behind Shenmue has been destroyed by Sony and bringing that poor man out in his pauper clothes. And he was just you could tell, Sony must have flew him over, and the only thing he's eaten the past 2 days was the free fucking plate over. Bastard. Yo, he looked so hungry. That dude looks so hungry. How else are you gonna listen? Sony. Yo, Sony makes movies, bro. They know how to make everybody believe. They're like, how are we gonna do this? Starve his ass. Make him really ask for money.
You're like,
get out of here, man.
You're like, why Sony? Shit. See, Sony fans should think about this. They have all this money for Destiny. They have all this money for third-party marketing deals. They could have took half that money and gave it to that guy. He could have finished this game fast. And that's a good. That's a lot of fans been wanting that game for years. Imagine if they would have get that game like Grand Theft Auto. It'd have been like Grand Theft Auto.
Did you see the clothes that he was wearing? It didn't even look like it was washed for flipping 10 days. He didn't even look like he had a bath for 10 days.
Yeah.
Dude,
he just came on stage and saying, "It's
starving, man. The motherfucker was starving up there, man, begging for money." And this is the really disturbing part, guys. It's anything I dislike about Shenmue because it's a great game during that time and the technology and everything that we had seen so far. But this is the fact. This is a slippery goddamn slope. You do not want to start letting these developers, these companies, who you're giving all this money, start to believe at any point you are willing to fucking do this Kickstarter shit. This is bad. Look at microtransactions. I mean, it's already bad enough. Do not. I mean, I swear to God, you can support that shit, and people are, and I think they're fucking ass pirates. And I shouldn't be using that on a podcast. I apologize, man. I try to keep it clean. But for real, man, that is a slippery slope, because if they think they can start getting away with that, it's the gaming crash will come back. And a lot of people don't realize, yes, there was a gaming crash, just like there was a fucking Great Depression and a stock market crash. Like, the shit got so bad at one point, like, people just stopped gaming. And Nintendo fucking helped everything out. And that's why I like them. But, you know, it's like, for real, like, that shit is crazy what these Sony fans are allowing Sony to get away with. That's what I'm saying right now.
I'm just telling you right now that, you know, you have games like Uncharted. That's Sony's bread and butter. If that can only do 30 frames and this Shenmue 3 can only do 30 frames, I have no hope for the PS4.
Well, just look at Drive Club. I mean, none of their games are really doing 60 like they're exclusives.
Horizon,
like
even Horizon. That Dinobot game. That Dinobot game, that's the only 30 frames per second too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would take that bet with anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I had one a second 1080p lock game this generation. You can make that bet. I would take that bet because we have seen it over and over again. They can't run Resident Evil. Resident Evil was a port of a PlayStation game ported to GameCube, and they couldn't run Resident Evil at 1080p 60 frames a second. Yeah. And Knack wasn't maybe 60 frames.
No, you know what? Knack was. Hey, we hit over 200 people watching. That's great for a fucking Wednesday, no lie. Yeah, that's awesome, man. We appreciate it, man. You guys should all go sub to Blackie and Blazing Phoenix and Iron Wolf and the Mooch. You know, they do a lot of great content.
Buy Xbox.
Hell yeah, man. Buy Halo, buy those Xbox games, man. But look, Knack was such a joke, right? Because they sold that game for $60 at launch. You know, it doesn't really show off any of the power. You know, like when you buy launch games, you want it to show off shit. Look, Dead Rising 3, 1,000 zombies, no two zombies looked alike. You had Rise, graphically looked amazing. You had Forza 5, was fantastic for what it was. For a launch game. Yeah, Killer Instinct. You had stuff that showed off the game and you could play right. On PS4, there hasn't been that game yet, and it's kind of sad that the best games that they hype up are not really good. You know, look at The Order, and, you know, I'm not a Bloodborne dude or whatever. If you like that, cool. But, I mean, what else is there on there to justify purchasing that damn console? Nothing, goddammit.
Killer Instinct destroys Street Fighter 5 graphically.
I agree with that. That game looks beautiful.
I can't wait to play Season 3, and we're getting that next year, so...
Yeah, we're not fanboying out. Like I say, I was never a Street Fighter fan. I always used to play Mortal Kombat or Killer Instinct growing up. We used to always go to the arcade. We used to play that. To me, I don't think Street Fighter is that technical as Killer Instinct is.
I think, well, Street Fighter 5, you know, this is my prediction. It probably sell maybe, you know, 600,000 copies. You know what I'm saying? No one's gonna buy that shit.
Yeah,
hey, Mooch, aren't you a big Street Fighter fan? I heard you talking about it today.
Yeah, I love Street Fighter, man. It was great. 1989. Shit was great, man. Remember, I played it so much I had to put Band-Aids on my thumb. It was great. Listen, that game has continued to not give a shit category a whole new meaning. Listen, you guys are all on Twitter. You guys are very actively on Twitter. You guys know what I'm talking about. Every couple of weeks, we get a picture that's literally from 1990 of a character that we've never heard of. Like, literally, did you guys see yesterday or today? They're like, the new Street Fighter 5 character. It looked like the St. Pauli girl with a fucking Band-Aid over her head. I was like, what the fuck is that shit? And they're like, what's she gonna do? All it is gonna be Chun-Li with bigger braids in her hair. Who gives a shit? Like, dude, the game looks the same. It's pathetic, bro. That's what I love it. One guy was just telling me, he's like, Mooch, you're full of shit. We got Horizon Zero, we got Street Fighter 5. I go, first of all, Street Fighter 5, look, enjoy that piece of shit. You enjoy that. I'll buy it for you, you piece of shit. But listen, I was like, listen. Horizon Event Zero. Listen, let's just break down facts here. People don't like facts. This is the facts. Uncharted 4 was shown via CGI in 2014 E3. This 2015 E3, it froze on stage, but they still showed it. Okay, so hold up. Now let's do the math. Now they showed Horizon Event Zero at 2015 E3. You're trying to tell me they just showed us that girl. First of all, it wasn't on a PS4 because the PS4 couldn't even play Uncharted 4 without freezing. So there's no way that was a PS4. We would have seen some asshole up there, some like ridiculous little with a controller like pretending to be playing a PS4. They weren't. It was behind the scenes because it was a PC. So it was a PC build we were watching, and you're telling me that 8 months, 10 months, 12 months later we're gonna get that game? you're full of shit. And The Last Guardian was the same trailer from 7 or 8 years ago. That game ain't coming in 2016. Dude, listen, this isn't hate. This isn't fanboy shit. There's no way The Last Guardian's coming out in 2016 and
not
if it does,
goddamn chance.
It'll look like a mobile game if it does.
Yo, Mooch, let me just add to what you just said. They just slapped that together last minute, and
Yes.
that game, what you saw. Do you know how they're making that game? They mocapped a rat to make that game. That's what they did.
Man, I will eat dog shit, and you can go ahead and save this clip. I will eat dog shit if that game comes out next year. It is not fucking coming out next year. There's no chance that I'll eat dog shit. I've made this claim before. I said if you can show me a game that shows the PS4 is 50% more powerful than the Xbox One, I'll eat dog shit. Hasn't happened yet because nobody showed me shit yet. You know what I mean? It's all just bullshit, chopped down frame rates, terrible frame rates. You know what I mean? I mean, the Order looked good, but it didn't look as good as Rise, and it had chopped down, fucking black screens.
Let me just drop one more fact regarding Street Fighter V. Nearly 90% of their characters in Street Fighter are all clones. Like Ryu, Ken, Akuma, Gen, Goken. They're all the same.
Like everybody's Scorpion. Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Reptile.
Yeah. In KI, everybody's different.
Unique.
Everybody has a unique fucking ability. That's what they don't understand.
Another thing bad about Street Fighter, they have tiers. Let's say if I pick Goken or I pick Evil Ryu or Akuma, I can dominate the rest of the cast. And you'll just destroy them. So they have casual motherfuckers. They'll just pick the strongest character and dominate. And Killer Instinct's not like that. You have to use skill. You have to think about, is he going to counter break? Am I going to use a shadows? You have to think. You have to use strategy. There's no strategy like that in fucking Street Fighter.
In Street Fighter, you could just cheese them with a Hadouken all the time in a Tatsu.
Yeah, I pick Goken and break people.
I like the little names you guys give those moves. I have no idea. It's been a while since I played that goddamn game. Like, seriously, the Sega Genesis was a game, so...
Yeah, man. Yeah, Street Fighter, what the fuck? What is that shit? Ain't that cartoon like fighting thing?
Yeah, it's the weirdo game.
Yeah,
they're all weirdo games, man, on PlayStation.
I'm telling you, KI and Mortal Kombat, those are the hardcore fighting games you want to be playing, not Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street Fighters fell off.
Yeah, Mooch, whoever said it earlier, man, they are the kings of not giving a shit. Like, I remember it was on the 360. Like, that was like a really good Street Fighter. I think it was Street Fighter 4. But it was like nothing different than the fucking Super Nintendo version back in the day. I mean, it was graphically, you know what I'm saying? But like how it evolved was it's so minimal. It's just crazy.
Well, the problem is,
if you want me to get if you want me to get real dirty, I'm gonna put it out like this. Street Fighter was only relevant when they were actually doing crossovers with Marvel, X-Men, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom was great, yeah.
That's the only time Street Fighter was it was relevant.
Well,
and that's a fact.
Help me out here. You guys are better with the numbers in this retrospect. Tell me this. So when I made this comment on Twitter, somebody was like, well, Street Fighter 4 sold, and it was something like 8 million. But wasn't Street Fighter 4 on various different consoles?
Yeah,
it was on PC.
It was on 360.
So
yeah.
Street Fighter 5 is going to sell less than maybe. Let's give him. What do you want to give him? $1 million? Do you want to give him $1 million even? Because remember, if you have a bunch of casuals that bought the PS4, they're not buying that fighting game.
Hey, Mooch, I'll give him $1 million just because it's a Japanese developed game and it'll probably do well in Japan.
Oh yeah, Japan sales. That's true. That's true.
They probably played on their mobile cell phone.
The only people that are going to support that game is the fighting community. Nobody's going to go out and buy that game. I'll say 800,000 copies at most.
I could go with that.
Just real quick, we're going to wrap up here because I know Mooch has got to go, but I want to get your guys' reaction on the whole DICE developer thing. He's apparently deleted those tweets that he made mocking Xbox fans and all this stuff. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Mousetrap. He should take his dick in a mousetrap, set it off. Asshole. What the fuck is up with that, man? For real. That's just bullshit. I like DICE, bad company. I mean, we can all agree that was the shit.
Yeah, I like Bad Company too, the campaign especially. Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. I love that game. That was one of my favorite DICE games ever. Was Bad Company 2. But man, just stop it. The hate for the Xbox One, it is what it is. But There's a lot of good stuff going down with Halo, the Elite controller, the UI. It just adds more to that bullshit, and people need to get over it for real. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
What about you?
How can the console war ever come to an end? And I know I just got to chime in here because people listen to this show, they listen to BGST, and they're like, you guys are just, you're part of the problem. No, we're actually not part of the problem. Yeah. We're actually trying to stream out to people that don't get a chance to voice their opinion. When you have assholes like Neil Druckmann and assholes like what's his name there, Mark Cerny, that are part of
Sony.
Game over,
Greg. Who was that? Greg Miller. Zaire got one in on those faggots today.
Yeah,
he was.
But these guys that work for Sony come out and say these slander things. They're backhanded compliments and things like, well, there's no way. The cloud's a great piece of engineering. It's a wonderful thing, but it's never going to be used in this generation. Boom, debunked on his forehead. And then you have these assholes over at DICE and these other developers. There's a couple developers. The one that was for Witcher 3 as well. Yeah. These guys that came out and said things like, Microsoft, the Xbox One's not powerful. They can never get their name back. They're never able to get that recognition.
DX12 is nothing.
Yeah, DX12 is absolutely nothing. You've got. There's people who are like, what the fuck? Who are you? Like, why are you coming out saying this kind of shit? All you're doing is you're adding fuel, and that's the part that kills me. There's a million people that say, why do you participate in this console war? I'm like, somebody, in order for it to be a war, somebody has to stand on the other side to fight, because it's all one-sided. It's just all one-sided.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Mooch. And I don't think we're the problem. I think we're the solution to the problem, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
as far as the guy from DICE goes, you know what I'm saying? I guess he had a lot of Xbox fans, just speaking their mind, and telling him how unprofessional and how much of an idiot he was saying what he said. And I guess Peter Moore, the guys at DICE and EA probably hit this guy up, telling him, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know, probably he may even get demoted. Who knows, man? I don't know what's going on with these guys.
He hasn't tweeted since, I don't think, and he deleted the tweets, so...
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Got in some kind of trouble, yeah.
The thing is, I'll be honest with you, him deleting the tweets, that's absolute bullshit. That's like when you got into a fight in high school and the principal's like, apologize to crap. Like, that's bullshit, dude, because the minute he gets outside and apologizes, he wants to fight again. What I'm trying to say is this. That's bullshit. I called for Peter Moore to step up as a CEO, as the head of EA, and say, I'm responsible for that division. DICE is my responsibility. If he didn't want to apologize, fine. At least say, we are not responsible for his comments and his tweets on his personal phone.
They don't reflect EA or whatever.
It reflects negative on our company. We understand that, but that's on his own. That's basically us telling him his ass ain't getting a raise this year and he's probably fired. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I wanted to hear. And nobody from EA stood up. Nobody from DICE stood up. Nobody stood up, period, except for us. And then listen, you don't think our word has been heard? He deleted the tweets. So somebody told him to do that fast, even if it was a family member.
And he hasn't said shit. And he hasn't said shit since then. So, I mean... I think that says everything we need to know. But anyway,
despite what you said, the damage was done at that point, and it doesn't mean I know he's delete the tweets, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna go out and buy the game.
Yeah, but that's unprofessional.
Exactly.
He's supposed to be a professional. He shouldn't have never said that. I think they should make him apologize and then fire him.
I'm not gonna buy the game anyway. I'm boycotting that game anyway, man.
He need to be fired.
Listen, you don't even have to boycott. I'm sorry, Crap. I know you're trying to do me a favor here, but I'll tell you right now, in all honesty, you don't even have to boycott it. The game itself, if you look at it, don't tell me it's pretty. A lot of things are pretty. Why don't you have more art in your house if you like pretty things? Let me tell you right now, it's not about pretty. It's about 11 maps and $50 more to play if you like it. If you want to play any more than the 11 maps, you'll pay an extra $50, $60. The game itself it's urging you to boycott. It's telling you don't buy me because it's not a complete game. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree 100%. Thank everybody for joining us. Make sure you guys subscribe to Blackie Lebowski, Blazing Phoenix, Iron Wolf, and the Mooch, and BGST is on my channel this Sunday, probably at 7, since Mooch is like, hey, can we do it at 7 from now on? Which actually works out well during football season, because it's between the football games usually and we get a bigger crowd. So appreciate you guys for coming out and joining us and talking some games with us. Keep it Xbox, and if you're going to talk gaming or hate on people, don't keep it personal. Just fucking talk games. Hey, man, if you want to say Xbox sucks, fine. But, when you get into the personal bullshit, man, that's where I got to draw the line. I think you're a fucking weirdo. So stop that bullshit, no matter which side you're on. Rack them up, and we'll catch you next week.
Peace. Bang, bang.